a lot of liquid came out. Crispy. Actually, this looks like fairly terrible. Clay's literally roasting me for my plating. The flavors are flavoring. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Carly and I make everything vegan and gluten-free. Today we have another tofu recipe. This one is coming from a creator that I follow on Instagram, and her handle is Veggiekins. She is a matcha queen, but she also did a dupe recipe on an Erewhon, I believe, if I'm saying that right, recipe, and they are called Sesame Tofu sticks. I believe it's like an appetizer. I've made it once before and they were meh, so we're gonna make them better this time. Let's get right into the recipe. For this recipe, we're going to be needing tofu, of course. Today I'm gonna try using this firm tofu instead of extra firm tofu. Sesame oil, you can use toasted if you have it. Rice vinegar, it does say rice wine, but I'm not sure if there's a difference. Gluten-free soy sauce or tamari, maple syrup, chili flakes, black pepper, mustard powder, cornstarch and water. Oil, I'm going to be using this olive oil from a local oil place today. A clove of garlic, I already peeled it, and some ginger, fresh ginger. This block was frozen and I just squeezed out gently, just in between my hands like this, and like, you know, however you can squeeze it without breaking it entirely. That's how I did it, to get all the liquid out as much as I can. And a lot of liquid came out. But I'm going to cut these into stick-like forms. So I'm thinking we'll cut the block into thirds here. I mean, hopefully this block is not too fragile because it is firm and not extra firm. Oh yeah, look at that. Like all of that will just soak right up, all of the flavors, y'all. This is why I wanted to try it with the firm block instead of the extra firm, because I figured maybe it would soak up extra. Look at that. So we're gonna just cut them into strips, just like so. About that big. Okay, our sticks are done. It's totally okay if a couple of them maybe broke. Like, it's just, you're just making them for your home. It's not a big deal, okay? And then this last piece, I accidentally cut it the opposite direction. So they're a little bit shorter just by a bit, but that's okay. For this step, we're gonna make our cornstarch slurry. So I'm gonna do 3 teaspoons of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of water. Whisk this all together so that it is all dissolved. The next step is going to be soaking our little friends here, our little strips, in the cornstarch slurry, and I'm just gonna put them into another Tupperware container here because they're gonna want to sit for 10 minutes in this. All right, I ran out, so I just quickly made another little batch of the cornstarch slurry here. And if there is any leftover, I'm probably just gonna pour it on top of all of these in my container, just to really make sure we have a good coating of it. The cornstarch gives it a nice crispy outside, so that is the point of doing this. I'm going to just let these sit and soak here for 10 minutes and then we'll come back. Our 10 minutes is up. Now I'm going to do 2 different methods here because I'm curious. Last time I just did them in the oven, so we're gonna do half of the batch in the oven. We're baking them at 400 degrees, and the other half I'm going to put in a frying pan and fry them to see how different they come out. And we're baking these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, flipping halfway through. Here's our other half. I have a bunch of coconut oil in here. I couldn't decide what kind of oil I wanted to use, so coconut it became. Okay, we're gonna fry these up. The next step is to make our sauce, so we're going to do 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Oh, that might be up. 1/4 cup of soy sauce, which I honestly think this is like so much soy sauce, but okay. 3 tablespoons of rice vinegar or rice wine vinegar. This is honestly kind of hard to see in the metal spoon, I'm not gonna lie. 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. Honestly, love this stuff. So good in Asian dishes. 1 clove of garlic minced. using fresh garlic right from a local farm, and it's so juicy and delicious, y'all. 1 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger. I used my zester to grate it. And if you like spice, do a teaspoon of red chili pepper flakes, but I do not, and the ginger is going to be hot, so I'm just going to do like just a little few shakes. Half a teaspoon of mustard powder, 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. Also, don't ask why I keep swapping hands. I don't know. Sometimes I pour with my left, sometimes I pour with my right hand. I don't know. It says half teaspoon black pepper. I'm gonna do like a quarter because I feel like this is gonna end up being really spicy if I put a whole half a teaspoon. All right, give this a mix. I'm sure the last time I did this, I also probably used ginger powder. I often keep ginger in the fridge, but I just never use it. I'm too lazy. But it's much better to use the fresh ingredients like garlic and ginger instead of using the powder kind, you know. Let's pop this in a small pan on the stove, just on low, and it's supposed to thicken, so we'll do that for a few minutes while the tofu is still cooking. All right, guys, here's our sauce. It's nice and hot and ready, and we have our little crispy tofu from the pan. So I will warn you, the pan, if you're doing them in oil, it's gonna spray everywhere, so just be careful. So let's compare, we'll do a little quickly of the pan fried. Do you see? Do you hear that? Crispy. So what I'm gonna do is toss them in here and just kind of soak them up for a little bit in here. I don't want them to be too overly seasoned in the sauce, so I'm just gonna toss them, mix them around a bit to make sure they actually absorb the sauce too, because they are kind of crispy and everything on the outside. They tend to kind of, you know, make a barrier to entry against the tofu inside. So I would just toss them in here for a few minutes to get them really nice and coated before we plate them. And the other half is still in the oven. We have about 5 minutes left, so we can just do this for a few minutes here. These are looking magnificent, so let's grab a nice little plate here, and then I'll try and plate them nicely. I don't even know if this is going to be a good idea with using a fork, but... And of course you can put this on rice or something, but her recipe, I think from like the Air one, is normally like an appetizer, and I believe that there they just literally serve them as an appy like this, like, you know? So I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be on a better, actually this looks like fairly terrible, but you know what? All right, y'all, we have our oven baked tofus. So you can see that they're definitely crispy, but like airy and crispy, you know what I'm saying? It's a different, like almost dry. So let's plop these. Same thing, we're going to just kind of smother them in the sauce like we did to the other ones. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I do think these ones might be absorbing it up a little bit better because they don't have that oil protecting them. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take, so that I don't get confused, I'll take a couple off of this plate and then I'll put some of these on there for the picture. I'm gonna replate it nicely. I decided I know what I can do to make it look better, but let's go ahead and get these out of here. Okay, let's do a quick side by side. I mean, these ones look better, honestly, I think, but because I just like took them out of the sauce, since these ones have been sitting for a couple of minutes, they kind of look weird now. But anyways, let's plate them up nice. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably gonna look absolutely horrible, but it's fine. So let me scoop those over there. I'll take a couple of these. So I know those two are from that. I'm going to just try to scoop these, and we're going to put the lettuce, try and make the lettuce look pretty, but it looks horrible, horrible, horrible. Honestly, it's so horrible, but whatever. Okay, there's that first layer. All right, here is our, Clay's literally roasting me for my plating. I'm gonna put just a little bit more sauce. He did taste test it just now and he said, you know what, they could use more marinating. So I could leave them in here longer or even just pop them back in here, which would be fine too. And then to garnish, we have sesame seeds, y'all, and fresh from the garden green onions. We'll sprinkle some on here. I think actually I probably could have cut them like and made them look more pretty, but that's fine. Okay, there's our final plate, y'all. I'm terrible at plating, but you know, I'm a baker, so it's fine. Let's taste test. Okay, y'all, time to see which one is better or if we can really even tell the difference. So here is our oven baked. Oh, those are very good. Very good. I think you could almost add a little bit more like sweetness to bring out something. I don't know. That would be, I think that would be really good. It is like a salty. You can taste the ginger and the garlic. But other than that, and the sesame, other than that, yeah, maybe I just need to soak them longer. And the pan fry. Okay. I think I like the pan fry better. See if I can show you guys like the texture inside. That's from the ginger, that little hairy thing. Yeah, very spongy on the inside and crispy on the outside from the pan frying. But of course, if you're trying to avoid oil, then the baking is a great idea and they taste just as good. Oh my god, y'all. I'm dipping it more in the sauce. And with the green onions and the sesame seeds, it is so good. They're so good. The flavors are flavoring, and this would be so good on top of rice or even in a wrap maybe. So delicious. That will be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you try it out. It's a really good recipe. In the description, I'll be sure to tag Veggykins because it was her recipe. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!